I was 7 years old. Michael asked, do you and the family want to come to Neverland?
We drive in and forget about all your problems. You were in Neverland. It was a fantasy.
Hello, Wade. Today is your birthday, so congratulations. I love you. Goodbye.
He told me if they ever found out what we were doing, he and I would go to jail for the rest of our lives.
What is it like for you when you see clips like that?
It's painful because for me, I see a lot of holes in that already that I want to talk about, but because knowing what I know, it's very frustrating to see that because I see a lot of lies in there. And
you know Wade Robson,
yes,
don't you?
Yes.
And you spent time at your uncle's ranch with Wade. So what was it like for you when you realised that he was making these allegations now? I
didn't believe it at first, you know. 2013 is when he started, and I said, no, not that Wade. Not the Wade that I thanked, who did, you know, when he did his testimony, the day he did his testimony, I thanked him. So that can't be the same Wade. It can't be the same Wade that went to my uncle's memorial.
Because for those that don't realise, in one of the trials, he actually gave evidence in defence of your uncle.
He was the first witness. He was the very first witness. He was the star witness, and that's what's so crazy about this is that my uncle was guilty. You don't put someone you abused for 7 years to be your first defense witness. You ship them off somewhere, but that's the thing. There's no logic to any of this.
Yeah, but you know, people who are victims of trauma, they do react in different ways.
Yeah.
At the time when an abuse happens and later on down the line. So it's, in terms of behaviour, you can't necessarily say that that's the behaviour of someone who hasn't been abused.
Yeah, but he said that he was scared in that clip over there. And the thing is, he was 22 years old at that point. You know, he was at the safety. When he testified and denied it 3 times, he was at the safety of the sheriffs, everyone. This is the safest time to come out clean with something if he thought that something happened.
Now, your uncle has freely admitted to sharing beds with young boys, and you've spoken about the fact that girls, and you've spoken about the fact that you shared beds with him as well. Did nobody in your family find that behaviour to be untoward?
You know, that's a good question to ask because I know how this looks to the outside world. I'm not oblivious to it, but I think a lot of people didn't know Michael Jackson. I think everyone from Lisa Marie to people that everyone say, well, they're normal, but they understood Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson didn't have a childhood. Michael Jackson was a child at heart, and I think yes, it looks weird.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not saying.
That's a thing. I mean, if you think about with people watching, they're sort of going, well, if my uncle was sharing beds with young people, then somebody would say something.
Yeah.
Otherwise, surely that makes you and the family part of the problem because nobody made him stop.
No, I think the thing is that he just had such a pure heart. He didn't look at it like that. He didn't look at it as like creepy or anything like that.
And nobody in your family looked at it as creepy?
No, because we know his heart. That's the thing. I think if you know someone and you know how they really genuinely are, you don't think of it as something weird or sinister. Now, if I thought he was weird and sinister, then yes, I would have said, you know, I don't think that's a good idea.
So talking about the family and especially his children, how are they dealing with this situation?
It's been extremely hard on them because the thing is that, you know, they go to school, they have to deal with this, and the truth is that no one really gave our family an opportunity to speak out against this until it aired.
What's also fair to mention is you could argue that your uncle was one of the most publicly scrutinised celebrities when it comes to this type of allegation. He had a civil case, he had a criminal case.
10 years
the
FBI.
FBI was investigating him. He had 2 unannounced raids. So in terms of, especially in the light of the Me Too campaign, in terms of how he was investigated, he was heavily investigated on 2 occasions, mid-90s and the early 200s.
His computer's taken, his everything, office, anything, you know, Havenhurst was raided. They wanted him really bad. And the thing is that he's probably the only person that could have withstood that because that's how he was. They didn't find one piece of evidence.
But people could argue that there's a money issue here. regarding you and the family defending his honour, because his estate still earns a lot of money from the rights to his music. And if people stop listening to it as a result of this documentary, then the family loses out.
The family doesn't. We're not the estate. The kids are the estate. So his kids would lose out. But I don't earn anything off of his royalties at all.
And why do you think these two men have come forward with these allegations? Do you think money is involved for them?
Oh, I know money. Yeah, they right now there's an appeal right now. They have a $100 million $100 million. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
I'm just riled up.
Oh, no, and that's completely understandable. But
yeah.
are they trying to sue the estate?
They already have sued the estate, and basically the charges were dropped, but they have appeal right now for hundreds of millions of dollars.
And you were also got a case with the broadcaster HBO as well regarding this.
The estate does.
The estate
Yeah,
does.
the estate is different than the family. We don't have a case because there's no law protecting libel and slander for the dead. So as much as we would want a case, there's nothing we can do. So
finally then, to anyone that's sort of sitting there and unsure of how they should feel about Michael Jackson, what would you say to them?
I would say just, as much as you're scrutinizing him, just take 10 minutes to look at the people that are doing the accusing, because he's no longer there to defend himself. And so I think that's the least you can do. If you're gonna watch a 4-hour documentary, take 10 minutes to look at them. You can listen to them, but that doesn't mean you have to automatically believe them.